Alright everyone, so there's a lot of Star Wars shows that they did announce, and I decided to just put it all in one video and kind of talk about them each separately very briefly, because right now we have more theories than actual explanation and facts. So instead of just making one video about what I think about all of them, I'm just going to put all the shows in one video right now, and then maybe as time goes on, if there's a specific show that piques my interest the most, I will make a separate video about that specific show. So to get into it, here are the shows that have been announced for Disney+. So we of course have The Mandalorian, which is going to be heading into season 3 next year. We then have Rangers of the New Republic, the Ahsoka TV show, Cassian Andor, the long-awaited Obi-Wan show, and I have a full video about that one, the Bad Batch animated cartoon, Star Wars Visions, which is going to be an anime, the Lando show, the Acolyte, a droid story, and last but not least, Rogue Squadron. Now, out of all of those announcements, Rogue Squadron is the one that's not a TV show. It's actually a movie, and it's going to be done by Patty Jenkins, who did the Wonder Woman films. From what's been announced, Rogue Squadron is actually going to be set after the events of Episode 9. I don't think there's too much details of when and how and where and really what it's going to be about. It is confirmed though, it is a fighter pilot movie. It is going to be about the very legendary Rogue Squadron group who have now developed into an area past Episode 9. The details, like I just said, are not known, but that is at least what we know as of right now. So of course I had a whole video on the Obi-Wan show the other day, so I'm not going to get into that. One show I will definitely mention here though is The Mandalorian. Now The Mandalorian is a show I have wanted to talk about on this channel for a while, but I do have friends who still haven't seen the entire show, and I don't want to ruin it for them just in case. Although season 2 ended with a bang, I will be making a video about my reaction and just how I felt about the end of season 2 in general. So for those people, I'll tell them not to watch it, but I will be coming out with that type of video soon. And Mandalorian season 3, it's going to be vastly different from what we've seen the show as in season 1 and 2. Season 3 is going to take a completely different turn, and with the success of The Mandalorian, there was no way they weren't going to continue with a season 3. Then you have another show that I believe is going to be coming out very soon, within the next couple of months at least, The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is an animated cartoon that is taking place right after the Clone Wars, and actually it takes place right during Order 66. It takes place right when Emperor Palpatine and Anakin start to slaughter the Jedi. It is a group of clones who aren't as developed, or if I should say as perfect as the clones in the Clone Army are, but it is going to be about the specific group of clones called the Bad Batch and how they handle Order 66. Do they work for the Empire? Do they hunt Jedi? Do they join the Rebellion? There's just going to be a lot to discuss, there's going to be a lot to talk about, and there's going to be a lot to see in that new upcoming TV show. There is the Cassian Andor show, which, I mean, we all know how his character ends. He ends up dying at the end of Rogue One. I don't know too many details about the show. I do believe it is almost a CIA secret agent type show, and it shows how Cassian operated within the rebellion and how he kind of smuggled and snuck his way through Imperial ranks, finding information, taking out important generals, stuff like that. The show should be interesting, not one I'm super excited for. I mean, if we get Vader in that show, maybe specific scenes of seeing Vader, that I'm down with that. Absolutely. I think that's the perfect way to make the Cassian Andor show a little more exciting. But other than that, the show should be decent for what it is, but we'll see what happens. Star Wars Visions is also going to be a very interesting show, especially for people who love animation and who love anime. Not exactly sure how this show is working. I don't really know if it's shorts, if it's half-hour episodes, if they're longer. I don't know if it follows one whole story from beginning to end. I don't know if it's maybe specific scenes or parts from actual movies that they reanimated into anime form. I don't really know what the show is all about and what type of story it follows, but overall, if you are an anime fan, this show may be for you. One of the shows listed there is A Droid Story. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have absolutely no idea what that show or maybe short film is going to be about at all. I don't know who the characters are going to be. It is the least important show to me out of all the ones listed, and it is one I just really don't care all that much about. I'm sure if you look up on Google or somewhere, you'll find out what A Droid Story is going to be about, but for me, I have no idea. Another show is Rangers of the New Republic. So I believe this show is going to take place right after episode 6 or somewhere in between 6 and 7, and we're going to follow people who have joined the New Republic after the fall of the Empire, and I can only assume what characters are going to be in this show. If you have watched The Mandalorian, you would know there are a select couple of characters from The Mandalorian who could potentially make their way over and become main characters of the Rangers of the New Republic. Once again, I haven't talked about The Mandalorian on this channel, and I'm not going to do so just yet, so those characters will remain unnamed for now. So announcing Lando was a pretty big move, considering I can only assume we're now going to get Donald Glover back as young Lando, and we might even get Billy D. Williams as old Lando. I've heard rumors that maybe what this show is it's old Lando Calrissian narrating parts of his life, and then we'll get young Lando, which is Donald Glover, and we'll get to see his adventures as Lando Calrissian. Now, there are so many possibilities we can get with this show, especially with what we've seen with Han Solo. There are so many opportunities to bring Donald Glover as Lando back with the cast of the actual Solo movie. They can do missions together. They can go on adventures together. We might even see Kira again from Solo, who we all know ended up going back to Dathomir to go train with Darth Maul. And that's a big thing. Do we potentially get Darth Maul in this show? Do we get to see Darth Maul in live action once again, like so many of us have wanted? I know myself, I've wanted Darth Maul in live action again. After seeing what he looked like in Solo, it just made me want more. So the potential of the Lando show is there, especially with all the side characters we could possibly get. There's another show there listed as The Acolyte. Now, about a month ago, I made a video about the High Republic, and it is a new story that Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on telling, which takes place about 200 years before The Phantom Menace. I voiced my opinion in that past video, but I also talked about the story and the plot of what this High Republic will all be about. Now, the Dark Acolyte is apparently supposed to take place during the High Republic time, and it is going to follow the story of the dark side. I don't know if these are dark side users, I don't know if they're dark side followers, I'm not exactly sure who they are and what they are, but it is to follow the story of the dark path. It is a little interesting considering that at this time there were no known dark side users, especially to the Jedi. The dark side and the Sith were extinct. There is rumors that Darth Plagueis will be in this show, or the master of Darth Plagueis will be in the show, and if you don't know, Darth Plagueis trained Emperor Palpatine, and he's the one who ended up completely taking over the galaxy for over 60 years. I hope you know that by now. So where this Dark Acolyte show could go and where it could take us is really exciting, and it could potentially be a fantastic ride to see how the dark side ends up infiltrating the Jedi. That way, the time the Phantom Menace comes, we have an even greater understanding of how Palpatine rose to power. Now, last but not least is the Ahsoka show, and this is actually a show I do want to make a video on separately and give my theories and my ideas. I won't get into it too much now because there is way too much to talk about with the potential and where the fact that this Ahsoka show could even bring us and where it could go. There are details that we are given from this show. It is of course going to be live action, considering Rosario Dawson did play her in The Mandalorian. First of all, Rosario Dawson played Ahsoka so well. She looked perfect for the role. I can't imagine anyone else playing her live action, and to finally see her getting the justice she deserves in live action is amazing. She is one of the best characters to happen for Star Wars in a long time, and honestly, I think Ahsoka might even make a top 10 list for best Star Wars characters ever made. So if someone's going to get her own show or their own show, she's one who deserves it. Now, those were the main announcements for the TV shows that were announced of Star Wars. There is also Taika Waititi's film. I don't know if it's a film or if it's a trilogy of films, but they did announce Taika Waititi is coming out with his own films of Star Wars, or film of Star Wars. I don't know, films, one or the other. Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi. There isn't details too much on where this story is going to take us with Taika Waititi's film. There is artwork that, once again, if I can find, I'll put it up on screen right now. But once again, if you are a deep Star Wars fan and you're huge into the lore, you'll probably be able to figure out what is potentially going on, and if not what's going on, where these sets of movies or movie will end up taking us. But other than that, we do not have much more details on his Star Wars film. So that's it for now. If there are any of those shows that really excite you, shoot down in the comments below and let me know which ones you can't wait for the most. Alright guys, talk to you soon.